Yo, yo, yo. Where you going, old lady? Yeah, so, okay, I see what you're doing. So I wanted to go live. I've been going back and forth with Garrison. I can't remember his podcast name, but I'll look it up. But been going back and forth with him about Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel. And he's got it in his head that this dude is what you call it, that he's an upgrade over Bo Nix. And to be an upgrade over someone, that's saying that they're better than them. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to say it's an upgrade, that means he needs to actually be better and show it with stats. You know? But he was losing me when he's trying to. You can't go back to. You can't take, okay, Bo Nix and say, well, he wasn't that good at Auburn. Who cares what he did at Auburn? He was at Oregon last year and he had 49 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. It don't work like that. I don't care what he did at Auburn. I care what he did at Oregon, which was ball out. Was a Heisman finalist. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. And also with that, he's trying to compare Dylan Gabriel's UCF days. Why are you going back to UCF when he's been at Oklahoma the last 2 years? UCF don't play nobody. They play like 2 tough games a year. Come on. UCF? He was at Oklahoma last year, and you're trying to say that, oh, UCF don't have talent. Okay, that's nice. But he's at UCF. He's not in the SEC. Bo Nix was playing in the SEC. That's the top level. That's the top. So you're losing me with your talking points. That's what I say, bro. He ain't better than him. Bo Nix put up. I don't, for some reason, Ohio State fans seem to do this a lot. They act like a player, like it can't just click for a player. You know what I'm saying? A player can, I don't care if a player sticks around 6 years, and in that 6th year, he's unbelievable. It don't matter to me. All I care about is now he's balling. He's saying, oh, Dylan Gabriel, he's been good everywhere he's went. That's nice, but he's never had a year like Bo Nix had last year, so what are you saying? He ain't never had a year that good. 3 interceptions as much as Oregon was throwing it. And with that offense, the man only threw 3 interceptions. Like, so to say that Dylan Gabriel is an upgrade, he gonna have to prove that. And to prove that, he gonna have to have about 50 touchdowns and 3 or less interceptions. Good luck. Because he ain't never had less than like 6 in a season. Like, and what also hurts him is you're not at UCF in the American Football Conference, the AAC or whatever that is with Memphis and all them. You're not there no more. You're not in the Big 12 no more. It sucks for you because maybe you would have been in the Pac-12. You're not in the Pac-12 no more. So Dylan Gabriel gonna have to face some Big 10 defense. And, you know, middle of the road Big 10 and bottom Big 10, I mean, who cares about those ones? But the top of the Big 10, you're gonna play some real defense. You're gonna face some fundamentally sound, well-coached, good tackling defenses. So he might not put up them same numbers like Bo Nix was just off of that, even if he is good. But an upgrade, that's a stretch to me. It's just a stretch. I don't care what he did at Auburn. For some reason, it seems like Ohio State fans do that, though. like a player can't get better. Seemed like y'all would have learned a player can get better when y'all lost Joe Burrow, and then he became the best quarterback ever. Had the best statistical college football season for a quarterback ever. Man had about 70 touchdowns. Oh, but y'all had him on the bench. He wasn't good back then, though. Y'all had him on the bench. That's crazy. But I'm interested to see what he does, you know. And people like to say just because you don't praise somebody, you don't watch them. Bro, I've watched plenty of Dilon Gabriel. He just wasn't that great to me. For some reason, you think he's so great because he was good at UCF. Okay. He was good at UCF. Okay. That's rough. Okay. What does that mean? I don't guarantee he's just going to be super great somewhere else. And you're talking about Oregon's receivers. He was at Oklahoma the last 2 years. So Oklahoma doesn't have good receivers now? Come on. As far as offenses go, Oregon and Oklahoma were at the top, separated by like 20 yards. So I ain't saying Dilon Gabriel isn't a good player, but to say he's an upgrade over Bo Nix after the season Bo Nix just had, you got some high expectations from Dilon Gabriel then. You expected him to have 50-something touchdowns while going to a conference that is known for defense. You expected him to have 50-something touchdowns. That's what you're telling me. And less than 3 picks. To be an upgrade from Bo Nix. It just sounds ridiculous. I'm sorry. It just sounds ridiculous. Let me see. I'm stopped. Let me see. Exactly. Y'all act like Haskins wasn't a Heisman finalist. Dwayne Haskins was better. People forget that. But yeah, he looked okay at Oklahoma. He looked okay. And if he's going to be doing all that running in the Big Ten, because he ain't nothing but like 6 foot, 200 pounds, he ain't big. He might not make it through the Big Ten season. He's talking about, well, he stay healthy. Well, you best be getting in that weight room. You know, he might not make it through the Big Ten schedule. But yeah, you coming from the Big 12, no defense. AAC, like, come on. That's like Memphis and all them teams. Come on. Like, so it's going to be interesting, but what is this dude doing? It's going to be interesting, but to say he's a upgrade over Bo Nix, I just don't see it. I just don't see that. And saying he's an upgrade means you're saying he's going to be better. Not Auburn. Not Auburn. We're talking about Bo Nix at Oregon, because that's where Dilon Gabriel is going. Oregon. So to be better than Bo Nix, he has to have a better season than him. Look up the numbers. It's going to be hard for that. It's going to be hard for that. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. Well, what else going on? The Michigan recruiting. Sharon Moore done got his second win. Done starting to build some traction. Uh-oh. Sharon Moore and them boys building up some traction and recruiting. So it's beautiful to see as a Michigan fan. Y'all ain't gonna like that. You start stacking these recruiting classes up. getting in that top 10-ish, you know, top 10 area. I ain't gonna like that. But what I really like about what Sharon Moore is doing with the recruiting is they get a certain type of player. That's what I'm like. That's what I really like. They're not just getting dudes that got, oh, okay, he's highly touted. No, they getting dudes that he's got a 3-4 star ranking, but that boy is physical. They getting dudes that's gonna knock you out. They getting thumpers. That's what I like. If we want to be physical, we finna be physical. We getting thumpers, dude that want to hit. That's what I like. Ain't nothing more exciting to me than seeing a physical defense. Dudes that are hitting. They don't care if you trying to go out of bounds, hit him. Yeah, I'm loving that, bro. I'm loving that. You know, my complaint the last few years, well, the last 4-5 years has been we don't hit enough. We ain't seeing the dudes hit. Now, they turned up in the playoff. I ain't gonna front. That month off with them really not hitting, that did the trick. Because them boys came out physical and angry, you know, in the playoff. You know, shout out to Harbaugh for figuring it out. I'm overworking these boys because now Sharon Moore knows that also. You know, that's the good thing. So now Sharon Moore, he don't have to wonder about, all right, what to do. He knows, all right, when it's time for the bowl, let's slow down on hit and give the boys a break so their bodies can heal and they fresh, you know. So I like that, but yeah, Sharon is getting hitters. He's getting physical dudes. And that's the thing. Because it ain't many teams that are physical like that, you know, on both sides of the ball. Not just on offense and not just on defense, you know. You can say like Ohio State. You can say Ohio State's got a physical defense. But you wouldn't say their offense is physical. You know what I'm saying? Now they're trying to be with Chip Kelly this year, but that's a wait and see, you know. Or even Oregon. Yeah, they run the ball, but when you think of Oregon, you think of finesse because they pass in and all those screens and stuff like that. You think of more of finesse, you know. When you think of Michigan, you think of physicality, not just on offense, but on defense too. So you ain't getting a break no matter if you play offense or defense. You play Michigan, boy, you about to get your dick put in the dirt. You can count on that. Count on that, and that's what I like, you know. Similar to a Georgia, I guess you could say, you know. Georgia plays physical like that too, offense and defense. We gonna manhandle you in them trenches. But yeah, they done turned up on their recruiting, and you notice the trolls, they just disappear with the recruiting rankings. They just fade into oblivion, you know, because they were going hard at us talking about recruiting, and now it's just done faded away. It just faded away. Oh yeah, the crackback block on Mullins laid in the Rose Bowl. Physical. The fullback, what's the other fullback? I can't think of his name. Is it Bredesen? Max Bredesen? Yeah, it's just physical. It's just a mentality, and it's good to see that staying, you know, and Sharon adding to that. Like, we're gonna keep getting physical. We're gonna keep being physical, getting these hitters, dudes that embrace contact. What up, bro? Yeah, I'm having a pretty good day, bro. Had a little Independence Day break from work, but back to the grind, the grind. But yeah, the physicality, and that's the staple of Michigan, and that's why Ohio State fans get mad and they'll say, we're not soft and all that stuff, and it gets to them because they always have to try to proclaim that they're not soft. It is what it is. But I had somebody try to say, "Oh, Michigan is soft." You can't just say what we say and it don't have the same value. It doesn't mean the same because nobody thinks Michigan is soft. Nobody thinks that. Like, nobody's gonna think the team that won the championship last year, the team that is known for running the ball down your throat, the team that is known for playing lockdown defense, nobody's gonna call them soft. That's just not something that happens. But you actually have talking heads calling y'all soft. So I don't see, like, come on. Now you can say people think you guys cheated. I'll give you that. That's a valid point. Say soft. That's not in the equation for a Michigan. It's not in the equation. And it's nice to see. It all makes sense to me. When people were wanting someone else and not sure more now, he still got a coach. It was the right choice for him to be the coach. He still got to prove it on the field. But Harbaugh knew he was going to be leaving. So he mentored Sharon Moore to be the head coach. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always, when it happened, I was saying either Sharon or Jesse. We know Jesse left. Harbaugh took Jesse with him. So, it was, all right, Sharon Moore. Keep that culture. Keep that mindset of being physical. We're going to run that ball down your throat, and you're going to have to deal with it, So you don't have any growing pains. Change can be good if it's needed, but we didn't really need a change. But the good thing is, hopefully, and it seems like it, Sharon Moore is more bought in to recruiting. Like, Sharon Moore is a younger black coach, so he can probably relate to recruits more than Harbaugh, honestly, because all the players seem to love Sharon. A lot of the players co-signed that they wanted Sharon Moore to be the head coach. So, they loved him. So, and Harbaugh's an awkward guy, you know what I'm saying? So, who knows how some of those recruiting, but Harbaugh was always in that 20 to 15 kind of range, 20 to 10 kind of range, so Sharon Moore might be able to get this class to the top 10. It's right on the edge. I think we're 11 right now. So if he can get those a higher caliber of recruits with the same development, it's gonna be problems for everybody. It's gonna be problems, because Oregon kills it in recruiting. Oregon's got Nike. They got the Nike. They got the Nike battery in their back, so they're gonna get recruits. They got unlimited money. If you got Nike, you got Nike behind you. You got unlimited resources and money. So they gonna kill it in recruiting. Then you go to Ohio State. So Michigan has been overachieving with mediocre kind of classes, I guess you would say. Not highly touted classes. So if you can get stack up some top 10 classes, with the development, with guys that buy into the culture, it's a problem for Oregon, USC, whoever's in the Big Ten. It's a problem. You know, that's why they've been getting quiet. That's why they've been on hush mode about our recruiting. Because, you know, they were talking so much, and then it's just like this, boom. Snap of your fingers, Michigan was in the top 20. From 50 to top 20, boom, that fast. Another week went by, boom, top 11. You were saying something about recruiting? You were saying something? You know what I love? Love the fact that Oregon seems to be the buffer for some of the Ohio State recruits. And that's Goofball on the Maze and Scarlet Show. Said he likes Oregon really, bro. Is you talking about Garrison? That's what made me jump on here, talking about him. Hey, I think Moore has been waiting for a job like this, waiting to get his turn. But not only waited to get his turn, but he got mentored by the Harbaughs. You know, because if you rock with Jim, you're not only getting tutelage from Jim Harbaugh, you're getting it from John Harbaugh. You're getting it from Jack Harbaugh. He even thanked he did a shout out to Jack Harbaugh when he had his introductory press conference. You know what I'm saying? So I think that mentorship that he got from the Harbaughs, I think dude is ready to go. You know, I think he was ready to go. He just had to get his foothold in, get his feet wet with recruiting, and now you see he turning up. He turning up now. Man, he turning up, and it's beautiful to see. Yeah, Garrison is the one that made me get on here talking about Dylan Gabriel is an upgrade from Bo Nix. I just don't see it, bro. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. You know, it's hard for me to say that somebody is an upgrade from somebody that had 49 touchdowns and 3 interceptions last year. You got to have a hell of a season to upgrade from that. I don't care about what you did in other places. It's about what you're going to do next year. Are you going to be better than Bo Nix was last year? That's all that matters. That's all that matters. For some reason, he's Garrison is all in on Dylan Gabriel. He speaks highly of him. Like, you must didn't watch him play. I did watch him play. He wasn't that spectacular. He was good, but if I compare him to Bo Nix was better last year. It's quite simple. And he wasn't at UCF last year. He was at Oklahoma. Yeah, Oklahoma cupboard is nowhere near bare. So you might as well just throw that away. He was at Oklahoma. The last 2 years, he's been at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's got the resources. They got receivers. They got it all. So let's just stop it. Talking about some Dylan Gabriel. He's been good everywhere he went. Okay. Okay. The question ain't have they been good everywhere they went. The question was, will he be an upgrade from Bo Nix? Bo Nix was one of the best quarterbacks in the nation last year. At the Heisman, like, what are we talking about? Like, what are you trying to argue? Like, that's a steep task, especially for somebody that Okay, you're going into Oregon's offense, but boom. Bo Nix went from the SEC to the Pac-12. So, as far as defense goes, that's an easier route. You're going from Dillon Gabriel's going from the AAC to the Big 12, garbage, to the Big 10 defense. Uh-oh. So it might not be as easy. I definitely don't think he's gonna have 49 touchdowns. If he does, it definitely ain't gonna be with no 3 interceptions. I highly doubt that. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. No, he's not better than him. Garrison. I'm Garrison. Why you ain't got your regular? Did somebody just make that, or is that actually Garrison? Because I know his is usually green. Hey, everybody good until that, and it's gonna be interesting. Like I was saying before, it's gonna be interesting to see if he can if he can stay healthy. Because he's not big. He's not a big dude. He's like 6'6'1". He's like 200 pounds. He's not a big guy. But they're supposed to be the team to beat. I'm gonna start turning up with a little more Oregon, a little more talking about them. I'm gonna start picking them apart since they supposed to be the top team. So USC, we got to see about them. But Oregon, everybody's picking Oregon or Ohio State. So I'm going to start digging into Oregon a little bit more too now. I can't let them get away. They got a squad. Honestly, I didn't think Oregon was going to lose to Washington that second time. Dan Lanning just seems to he's learning, but he seems like he gets in his own way still. Like he gets in his own way. Kind of like James Franklin. Gets in his own way. Like when we played them. Instead of they scored right before half, and instead of kicking the field goal, instead of making it 14-10, nice chasing points, bone. Like, bro, it's go for 2 to make it a 3-point game. You still got the rest of the whole second half. Don't chase points. Coaching 101. But some of these dudes get in their own head and they try to get too aggressive for no reason. Chasing points for no reason. Dan Lanning does that stuff too. He does that type of stuff too. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does in the play Ohio State. But I don't know who else I really don't know who else they play. But yeah, it ain't good enough to just have a good coach. Your coach gonna have to make some great situational play calls. Great situational play calling. I think that's one of the most underrated parts of coaching. The same way Ohio State was complaining about Ryan Day on 4th and 2s not going for it. Now he should have went for it. Well, he doesn't trust that his offensive line can get those 2 yards. He don't trust it. Now then, if you go to Sharon Moore against Ohio State, he made those calls because he's got Blake in the offensive line. He trusts that we can get this 4th down. 4th and goal, he trusts Blake is going to get it. He trusts the offensive line can get him them yards. Situational coaching. Dan Lanning, sometimes he seems like he got too much faith. He got too much faith, and it bit him in the butt last year. You know, that situational coaching is it's big time. I'll take it to 2022. Ohio State against Georgia. They blew that game. Boy, they blew that game. You talking about blowing the game. These dudes were up by 14 3 separate times in that game. 3 separate times. So then Ohio State is in field goal range. I think they're in field goal range, and I believe I can't think if they were up or if they were trying to get in field. I think this is the drive before the last one. Yeah, I think this is the drive before the last one, where they could have probably iced the game. In either way, so it's like first down, they get like 8. And instead of going and running the ball and killing the clock some more, they decide to pass, and I think C.J. Stroud gets sacked, and it puts them behind the chains. Those 2 plays right there blew the game for them. I know they say Marvin Harrison Jr. that play or whatever. It wasn't. It was that series right there when they were either trying to kill the clock. I can't think of exactly which series, if it was the final series or the second to last. I think it was the second to last. But they got first down, get 8. All they had to do was keep running the ball. They decide to drop back, sack, ends the drive. Georgia gets the ball back, scores like instantly, and Ohio State has to kick that super long field goal. Ball game. But they could have iced the game that second to last drive. They could have killed it, But situationally, Ryan Day got greedy. He wanted to win it his way. Passing, that's his way. Ryan Day's way is passing. That's why he had to bring Chip Kelly. So he wanted to win that game his way, when all he had to probably do is run that rock. It's 2nd and 2. Run that ball. You can't get the first down in 3 tries. It's 2nd and 2. So you can run it 2nd down, 3rd down, 4th down. But 2nd down, he decided to pass it, got sacked. Ball game, basically. I might watch that game when I get home if I can find it. I might watch that game again, just to watch their heartbreaks at the end. Woo, them boys had me nervous. I thought they was going to go to the championship. The boys had me nervous, boy. Woo. I thought they was finna win that championship. Well, I didn't think they was going to win the championship, but them just making it to the championship, it would have hurt, because we had already lost. They played second. That would have hurt. That would have hurt. If they would have made that title game, even if they lost to TCU, it would have hurt. And if they would have won, boy, it would have been horrible. It would have been horrible. But yeah, situational football, it's the difference between winning and losing. Like, it's so crucial in some of these close games. Just one wrong play call and you're done. Notre Dame, Ohio State from last year. Situational football. Marcus Freeman wanted to get cute on their last drive. They had the ball, about to kill the clock on Ohio State. He wanted to get cute with the handoffs and try to throw a screen and stop the clock. 2 2 bonehead calls. You were running it down their throat. All you had to do was keep handing it off. Don't get cute. Just hand that ball off. Run it down their throat. He just like Ryan Day, he couldn't handle winning like that. I gotta get cute. Throw in a screen. Throw a screen. JTT, he knocks it down. The one thing he good at, knocking down screens. The thing he best at, knocking down screens. And then you done got, hitting the backfield trying to get cute on a run play. Just run the ball, bro. You couldn't handle running the ball to win. You had to get cute and show that you're you see that great call by Marcus Freeman? He hit him with a screen. Did you see that great call? Just run that rock. Just run that rock. But nah, you want to get cute. Same with Ryan Day against Georgia. He wanted to get cute. Just run the ball. Kill the clock. Don't get cute. Just kill that clock and run the ball. That's like if Sharon Moore, when we were playing Ohio State, if on that last third down, when we were in Ohio State's red zone, he could have tried to go for it on 4th down and throw a pass because it was like 3rd and 6 or 5. He could have called a pass play, tried to get cute to show that we can win it with JJ. Ohio State stops us. They get the ball back with more time on the clock. Who knows how it turns out? You know what I'm saying? But no, ain't no point in getting cute. Let me kill this clock, make them keep it on the ground, and run it down their throat. But coaches get in their own way a lot of times. They want to win a certain way, want to get cute, show how smart they are, overthinking. Those type of plays keep you from winning championships, honestly. Kept Ohio State from winning 1 in 22, probably. Honestly. Kept Oregon from probably winning the Pac-12 and going to the playoff last year. Who knows what they would have did if they got in the playoff. They would have had to deal with us, but, who knows? Marcus Freeman, you just messed up a big-time win. You would have had a big-time win at against your alma mater, or, you messed that up. So that's just it. Texas against Washington. Texas stopped running the ball. Situational football, it's huge. I done went on a long little rant. I know y'all get it now. If y'all didn't get it before, you get it now. Sheesh. You say Oregon would have got smoked by Texas? Possibly. Oh yeah, Freeman is just a bonehead. He a bonehead. Exactly. But yeah, Freeman done made some bonehead calls. Who's to know if it was one of them calls was his. They could have ran the clock out, but they're not being 11 men on the field. I think that's got to be on you, bro. Because you just called timeout. Like, you're the head coach. You should know there's 11 on the field. Where's the lineup at, fam? You ain't trying to look as good as me. Stephen Brown, where you been at, bro? We done finally won a natty, and you've been ghost. We done finally won the natty. We done beat everybody head in like you expect for once. And you done disappeared now. Now you ghost. Now you ghost now. Let me see. I'm stopped. Marcus Freeman's Ohio State graduate. Why do you think he can't count? Got some relatives who are indie grads, so I'm well versed in Freeman fuck ups. I be on Twitter talking. Oh, okay. You know, I don't be on Twitter like that. I still don't understand exactly how Twitter works. I know that sounds crazy, but I just don't. I'm old. I'm kind of old. You know. Oh, college football 25. I'm waiting. I'm counting down the days. Come out on the 19th. I will be on there. I will be on there, and I will be giving it to folks. Yes, sir. I'll probably put my gamer tag on my profile description on the you know, when you click on my videos or whatever on my page, because I will be on that college football 25 heavy, boy. You know, I didn't like the last one that they made, you know, so I actually traded it in. Now, little did I know that would be the last time they were going to be making it. I didn't know that at first. You know what I'm saying? When I took it back, I ain't know. Boy, you talking about sick. Man, been missing that game. I think everybody's been missing that game. Yeah, no Dynasty crossplay is whack. I'm on Xbox. So if you got an Xbox, you know, well, I guess we can play regular, you know, cross-platform, but no Dynasty. Let me see what Steven say. Realistically, would you rather Michigan take their current recruiting approach or do what Oregon and O State are doing, just on spending spree? If we gonna gain traction like we are now, hey, I'm fine with what we doing. You know, you don't want to go on no spending spree. Oregon has the money. Hey, if Phil Knight want to just spend all his bread, let him. Hey, you know, Oregon has Phil Knight, so that's just unlimited money. You know what I'm saying? Nike, they getting money from Nike. Jordan, you know, so they get some of that money. So that's just unlimited money. So they straight. You know, if we had something like that behind us, I'd say do it like them. But Ohio State, if they're not getting the dividends, then that's gonna be short-sighted for them. It's gonna be hard to maintain it if they're not getting the dividends. You know what I'm saying? So I like what we're doing, you know, because if you're getting all this money from your boosters or whoever, and they're really throwing that money and you're not getting the dividends, they're gonna get pissed off sooner or later. They're gonna get mad sooner or later. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I'm dumping tons of money and y'all ain't giving me no where's my ring? Where's the championship? You know what I'm saying? So Michigan's model is more sustainable. Hell, Oregon's model is sustainable for them too, though, because they got Phil Knight. So that's sustainable for them. You know, that Nike money, they can sustain that. Because Nike ain't going nowhere. Even though they did lay off some people and stuff. But, you know, they still got a ton of money. You know what I'm saying? OSU recruited just as good before NIL, but you're right. If you get all the players and they don't produce, everyone is about to get the Jimbo Fisher treatment. Exactly. My thoughts exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's my thoughts exactly. Because with the transfer portal, just like Michigan, let's say year in and year out, we're maybe top 10 or top 15. Might be top 10, might be top 15 in there. So you're going to have good recruits, and whatever you're missing, fill it in from the transfer portal. Because you can sustain that. You know what I'm saying? If you're consistently having good recruiting classes, top 15, and then you get a offensive tackle that you needed from the transfer portal, you get a corner that you need from the transfer portal, you know what I'm saying? You get a tight end, or, plug in your missing pieces, you can sustain that. That's sustainable. Because the transfer portal is really, it's just buying you time until you get the recruit in that you need at that position. You know what I'm saying? So I like what Michigan is doing. Now that it's gained traction, it's looking good. Hey, smash. You dig? Smash. Let me get one of them smash burgers. And if you got a smash burger in your city, boy, them smash burgers be good. Man, I hate I even said smash. My mouth watering. I want a smash burger now. I done got hungry. I done got thirsty for a smash burger just by saying smash. But yeah, smash burger is on point, bro. A double cheeseburger costs about $12 in there, but it's worth it. They make it to order and it's fire. But yeah, the culture is there. And you know what's gonna be funny is watching Oregon and these other teams, because they're starting to come into our spaces, these Michigan and Ohio State spaces, because they're in the Big Ten now. So they're starting to come to our spaces, and they don't like when I posted that video of Zach and Chris. I posted that for an Oregon fan because he didn't understand what the rivalry was. He didn't understand that you can get fired at Ohio State for losing to Michigan, even if you're having good years. He didn't understand that. That's why I posted that, because he's like, maybe they're shifting their focus to Oregon, and the Big Ten's different now. Don't matter what the Big Ten is. This is the biggest rivalry in sports. You got to beat Ohio State. You got to beat Michigan. So it's going to be funny to watch them, come into these spaces and learn about the rivalry. Because, on the outside looking in, you're like, okay, it seems big, but, no, it's everything. It's everything, and so it's funny to watch them come into these spaces and see exactly, like, dang, it's like that. So Ryan Day might get fired just from losing to Michigan. Yes, it's on the table. It's getting to that point. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be funny seeing all these, Pac-12 teams really get into this Big Ten spaces and see what it's about. Like, especially what it's about with Michigan and Ohio State, the vitriol we have for each other, the hatred that we have for each other. No matter what time of year it is, what's been going on, you see an Ohio State fan say something and you talk about them 42 to 27 or 30 to 24, throwing the score out there. Like, it's that serious. You know what I'm saying? Because there might be other rivalries, but there ain't no rivalry like this. The Iron Bowl, it's a nice little rivalry, but it ain't this. It ain't this. You know what I'm saying? FSU and Miami, they had their time where it was something serious. Hey, that FSU Miami, that was something serious, boy, just because they had so many NFL players that at that time, when Miami's heyday and then FSU, it was crazy. It was must-see TV just because they was playing like an NFL game or something. That was crazy. But, it's not the game. You know what I'm saying? The bragging rights, the history, it's just something different at Michigan. The hatred The hatred, it's on another level, you know. So they starting to learn, you know. Who is this? Shaquille O'Neal? Alabama versus Auburn is definitely not the best rivalry in college football. It's definitely not. It's Michigan, Ohio State, hands down. That's why it's called the game. The game. The game, the game, it's the game. It all stops here. You know? Yeah. That Alabama Auburn, it's nice, but it ain't the game. It ain't Michigan, Ohio State. It's just not. And you know, and I watch all these. I'm a college football fan, so I'm in all these spaces. But it don't got the same. You know, it don't got the same vitriol to it. It just don't. You know, it just don't. You know, the game, even when Michigan was garbage, the game was usually the most watched game of the year. Year in and year out, the most watched regular season game is Michigan, Ohio State. And you could say for whatever reason, but that's what it is. You know? And the Iron, with Bama being so dominant, you know, Auburn has had some nice years here and there. They've had some good years and beat Bama on some good Bama teams. But Bama's won so many championships. It's like, it's just ridiculous. You know, like if Ohio State was Bama, because Ohio State had beaten us consistently over the last 20 years or whatever, but they weren't winning national champion. They ain't win like 6 or 7 national championships. They won 2. So yeah, they were beating us, but they weren't becoming the greatest dynasty ever in college football. That's on your watch, Auburn. That's on your watch. Hell, Auburn, Georgia had to humble Bama. Georgia had to humble Bama for y'all. And us, you welcome. Y'all letting them get a Hail Mary. Ain't no Hail Mary. Don't worry. Don't worry. The King of the North will humble Bama for you. We'll humble them. You welcome. You welcome. Tim, you say Auburn, Alabama is like Michigan State. That's a good one. That's a see, and that's what I think of it more like of. I think of it more like that, like a regional rivalry, a regional. You know what I'm saying? Ohio State, Michigan is just, the fan bases are so big that it's not a regional rivalry, really. You know what I'm saying? Known that Michigan hates Ohio State. Ohio State hates Michigan. Like, it's not a regional thing because the fan bases are so huge. Like, I'm in Florida. I grew up in Michigan, but I live in Florida now. I walk around, I see Michigan stuff all the time. I see Ohio State stuff all the time also, though, too. I see both of them. It don't matter. It don't really matter where you go. You'll see some Michigan. You'll see some Ohio State. It's understood. The hatred, the respect. The passion. It's understood. You know, Alabama, Auburn, they done had some great games, and it's a good rivalry, but it ain't Michigan, Ohio State. There's only a few rivalries in college sports that come close to it. You might say North Carolina, Duke in basketball, not football, basketball, North Carolina, Duke, you know. That competes with it. But college football, it ain't many like that. Michigan, Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? Notre Dame, USC, the Shillelagh, the fight for the great Shillelagh. It's not that big, but it ain't that big, I don't think. I'm just struggling to think of the other ones now. Oh, what's the one? Texas, Oklahoma. I can't forget the Red River rivalry. That's big. I would say that one's bigger than Auburn and Bama. To me personally, I think the Red River rivalry is bigger than the Iron Bowl. That's just me. When I think of them, I think it's up there with, like, it's Michigan, the Red River rivalry. I put that ahead of the Iron Bowl as far as greatest rivalries to me. You know, let's see. I appreciate you, bro. It doesn't do anything for Auburn. Michigan, Washington, Michigan, Bama, Michigan, OSU. Auburn is not a blue blood. Yeah, Auburn is they had Auburn had that team. Man, that seems like a long time ago. Jason Campbell, Cadillac Williams, Ronnie Brown. Man, that seemed like a long time now. How long ago was that? What was that? 1999 or something? Man, that seemed like a long time. But that's the last championship. I know y'all went to another one with I can't even think of them dudes. Oh, Cam Newton. When Auburn get it together, they maximize it. When Auburn gets it together, they do maximize it. I will say that. When they get it together, Jason Campbell and them boys, that other team that went to the championship and lost, you know, when they get it together, they do pretty well. It's just not consistent. But when they get a real good team, they seem to maximize it. I will say that. Cam Newton was 2011? God, we done got old. I'm not saying it ain't serious. I just don't look at it the same. But I guess it is somewhat. I guess I'm in the Michigan. Spaces. Even though I lived in before I moved to Florida, I lived in Memphis, and there's a ton of Alabama fans, but I didn't see many Auburn fans, you know. But I've seen the documentaries on it, so I guess it's big. But Auburn's just fluctuates so much. I guess on the outside looking in, it doesn't seem as big, but I guess I get it. But it ain't no Michigan, Ohio State. I ain't gonna give them that. Talking about you rather watch UCLA over Ohio State, Michigan. Yeah, that's crazy. UCLA, Washington, UCLA, USC, Washington, and Washington State. Bro, do they even put them games on? Them games probably don't even come on TV. They probably don't even put them games on TV. You got to have a special package to watch them. You got to have a Pac-12 network to watch them games. Them ain't coming on national TV, boy. Talking about some Washington State, boy. That ain't even coming on regular TV. If it for it to be a national rivalry, it has to come on national TV. For the world to care, it has to come on national TV. Some of these rivalries, you name it, that ain't even coming on national TV, my brother. So we can't take that serious. Biggest and best rivalry in all sports. Second is UNC versus Duke. They hated Jesus for telling the truth. You know my girl be saying that. They hated Jesus for telling the truth. Well, yeah. It's gonna be interesting. And the one thing I do like about those teams coming over is we're gonna get some good late night. The only thing that was good about the Pac-12 is you got some good games. You got some good you get to watch football at the games that start at 9 o'clock. That's the only good thing good about them Pac-12 games is you like, man, it's 9 o'clock. You got a game just coming on. I remember yeah, you get some games that don't end until like 12:30, 1 o'clock at night. I like that. That's the one thing I loved about college football. You get those games and they don't end until 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, you can literally watch football all day until the day is over. You know? I love that about them being out there. Hey, that Colorado-Stanford game was crazy. That was, if you stayed up to watch that game, boy, you got a treat. That was a treat for anybody that stayed up to watch that comeback Stanford had, and that receiver go out of his mind going against Travis Hunter. It was crazy. That was a treat. That was a treat for anybody that stayed up to watch it. But yeah, and that's why I love them being out there. You know, you get stuff like that. A game that you think isn't even going to be good, and it turns into an instant classic. Because that was a classic. That Colorado-Stanford last year. Stop overhyping Michigan. Boy, stop. But yeah, I'm about to go on and get off of here. I'm at the crib. I wanted to get on Garrison about underrating Bo Nix. Boy, Dilon Gabriel got to show up and show out and prove that he's an upgrade from Bo Nix. Because just going off last year, he ain't no upgrade. And that don't matter what he did at UCF. That don't matter what Bo Nix did at Auburn. Bo Nix was at Oregon last year, and he put up numbers better than Dilon Gabriel's at Oklahoma. And you can't act like Oklahoma is UCF. Oklahoma is Oklahoma. You know, so you can't be trying to pick your stats. You got to go off of last year. Bo Nix was that dude at Oregon last year. So I'll be looking for Dilon Gabriel to have about 55 touchdowns or 53 and only throw 3 interceptions, since you say it's an upgrade. But let me go on in here. I appreciate y'all joining the live. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.